Alright, so what I'm going to be doing today for really however long I feel like it, because I'm pretty new to this, is I'm going to be working on a sculpture of a particular character from Star Wars that, for reasons I'm not going to name, because I don't actually know how copyright stuff works. But it was a commission that I got a little bit ago, and I'm going to start on that, probably get through the armature, but I'm doing this one because I want to show the process of my art a little bit more. I'm just trying to get a little more comfortable talking about it, and also just comfortable talking. I am not the best at it, so I'm gonna try to do it in this whole scenario, and see what's up. So, but yeah, so what I'm doing now is just starting with an armature. And the armature is just a very simple thing. It's basically the skeleton of your piece. There's not a whole lot to it beyond that. But for those of you who may be curious, I started doing this 12 years ago. I worked, I guess, with a convention in my hometown. And a guy came through who did this stuff, who made wire sculptures, and made a living doing it. And I just remember seeing him thinking, that's the coolest thing. I have never seen anybody work in a medium like that. And my best friend happened to be at a party where this guy, with this guy, so he learned how to do it. He learned how to make just a little basic figure. And then my friend very kindly showed me how to make a very basic figure. And I've kind of been running with it since then. I've spent many years making very bad sculptures. But I mean, I was also I was in 7th grade, so it wasn't going to be spectacular. And I'm aware of that. But, I've gotten better over time. I always try to do new and interesting things. I don't like to stagnate and just go, oh, I can make this good, so now that's it, I'm done. It's fun to try to experiment with new things, and it took me a while to get there. When I started out, I did a lot of basically just fan art. I would try to emulate stuff that I appreciated. I'm a big comic book nerd. Made Batman, had a guy ask me to make a scorpion there at the beginning, and it was terrible. But yeah, a lot of what I did very early on was basically just fan art. Which, not that I said fan art like it's a bad thing. I'm actually a huge proponent of fan art. I think that's great. I think people who love something enough to to use their talents to express how much they love it. I adore fan art. It's amazing, and I love people who make fan art. It's great. It's wonderful. But where I was, it was not. I wasn't doing it because I loved it. I was just doing it because that is what I was expected to do. I grew up working for this convention. My dad ran the art show, and so I grew up around lots of artsy folks. And my dad especially was very, what's the term? Not demanding, but he would let you know if your art didn't look good. Like when you're a little kid and you draw a little something, and most parents go, "Oh, it looks amazing," and they put it up on the fridge. He was like, "No, your proportions are off, bud. It don't look good. That doesn't look good. Here's how to do it. You should do it better. You should do it better next time." Then it goes up on the fridge. I'm joking. We didn't put stuff up on the fridge. We weren't that wasn't us. But that was you get with it. So yeah, I was very much trying to make sculptures as representative of other things. I wasn't doing fan art in the way that I meant. I wasn't doing it because, oh man, I'm such a huge fan of Batman, I gotta make this Batman. Someone would say, hey, do you think you can make Batman? I'd go, yeah, I'll make Batman. And I was just trying to emulate other things. So I guess fan art wouldn't be a particularly accurate description of my early work. I was just trying to emulate things in a different medium. But anywho, enough digression. As the years went on, I started branching out a little bit and just doing stuff I thought would look cool. There was, well, when I started getting romantically involved, like when I started exploring my feelings, which is a fun thing, that is when my work started to get more expressive and less about looking like something else and more about trying to convey a sense of emotion. And I was bad at that too, and I'm still bad at that in a lot of ways. But when I started to grow, when my capacity for emotion changed, is when I tried to start putting that in my work more, and not as a conscious choice. It's because I was like 17. I wasn't making conscious choices about that kind of stuff yet. I was just like, I have many feelings, and I must put them somewhere. And I'm very bad at talking, so I'm gonna do it in wire, because that doesn't require eye contact at all. I can sit alone and try to work that out. Yeah, I don't know. It was good. I definitely enjoyed that. It was therapeutic for a time to just be able to sit and work on stuff, and not be concerned with how it looked. Well, no, that's a lie. I was concerned with how it looked, but I wasn't trying to match it up to something else. I still wanted my work to look good, but I wasn't trying to say, like, it's got to look like this. It's just, I just wanted it to look nice. I've left my pliers somewhere. I'm gonna have to go get those eventually, but we are gonna go as long as I can. That's probably when I'm gonna stop, is when I need to go get my pliers. But I can go for a while before I need pliers, because right now the armature can all just be one long continuous piece. I actually don't have to cut it until the armature's done. This will all, I get up to go get my pliers, will all be one long continuous piece of wire, which is, I think, kind of neat. There are interesting things you can do with that, where you make these big, long, elaborate, very traily pieces, and you can do it all. And this is my cat. This is Sophie, one of my cats. Come on, come on. Well, come on. Come say hello. All right, I'm gonna just pick you up. This is Sophie. She's very sweet. She's got a little kink in her tail, as you can see there. Both of my cats are absolutely white, so that is how I tell them apart, is the little kink in the tail. That's like, they have different faces, but at a glance, it's just like, well, if I want to try to figure it out quickly, I just have to check the tails. So this is Sophie, and she's gonna go away now, because I'm trying to work. But, what was I saying? Oh, armature stuff. Yeah, the armature can be done all as one piece, and the guy who I first saw do it, Luke Eldridge, by the way. I don't know why I'm not saying he's a fantastic artist, and everyone should go look him up, because he's fantastic and makes great work. But he did some pieces where it would be these very long, very traily. Go away. Like, it'd be the figure and then these long trails, like a flame or whatever behind him, and it would look really cool. And I was super into it. Those were some of the most eye-catching pieces. And that was the thing, is it was all one piece of wire, which I thought was neat. Get out of here. Thank you.